How lucky can a guy get? Look at this beautiful day. And I'm off from work. So guess what? It's Kalibrgun Cricket 2 WSA review time. Let's get to it. The gun was sent to the channel by Kalibrgun in Czech Republic through Georgia Air Guns. Thank you guys so much for lending the gun to the channel. You guys go ahead and check them out. I'll leave a link in the description for them, and you check out my other videos, as I have already talked about Charlie and Georgia Air Guns. Plus, I've already taken the gun out hunting with me. My other video you may have seen, where I went down with Orion, the iguana hunter, and we had a phenomenal time where the cricket just performed flawlessly, taking headshots out to 50 yards. It is a fantastic platform. So let's take a closer look at it. The first thing you'll notice is all the sexy lines. Look at all these nice curves. It feels great in the hand when you grab it. There's a nice palm swell right here, a place for your hand. Brings up to the shoulder very nicely. Your cheek comes up on this wooden piece right here. It is very comfortable, warm, natural. Just has an excellent feel. Trigger guard still part of the wood stock, and the whole thing just kind of flows together. Second and most obvious thing that people will probably notice too is that they've taken the cocking lever. Is not here any longer. Now it is a side lever, and it is reversible, so you can have it here or you can have it on the left, whatever your preference is. I think that I don't know, I'd like to be able to try it maybe from the left, as I am right-handed. You can just stay on target and, you know, activate your next shot and not ever take your eye off the target. It shares the same magazine system as the previous cricket, and it holds 14 shots in 22. As I understand it, these are available in .177, 22, 25, and 30. If the 30s are not available yet, they are forthcoming and they have been announced. Here we have the same loading system as the previous ones, where you have the rotation and non-rotation of the magazine. That actually can become really useful, and I might take a little more in-depth look at that a little later for you. Some people don't really like the way that this system is, and you know, for me it's so. I can see where the complaints are. Some people go ahead and mod this here a little bit so that you can mount it in the back. I have spoken to Kalibrgun, and basically they say that it is a safety concern, and that's why they don't do it. But once you buy the gun, if you want to mod it, well, that's up to you. And if it works well, I've modded my Mini in that fashion, and it works really well for me. So you have the option to do that if you want to. Frankly, I've had no trouble loading this magazine onto here. There's other systems that are a little easier, sure, but it's not the end of the world, you know, loading the magazine. Another magazine here in this little slot in the bottom, and now you are equipped with 28 rounds. Pretty much same shroud system as before, which can be modded to accept external moderator if you so desire. This particular one, it does not have the adapter in place, but an adapter can be placed, and you can then add a moderator of your liking. The air cylinder, this air cylinder is slightly larger than my Mini, and from my understanding, it also features a larger plenum. So the implication there is that you're going to have more power capability out of this platform. 17-inch barrel starts right about here. Rear hammer spring adjustment knob. These are very handy because you can dial down or up the power without ever having to touch the regulator. In my experience, the Crickets are very capable of shooting a very wide range of power just by adjusting here without ever having to touch the regulator. I'm sure there is going to be a sweet spot, but they tend to be very accurate across the whole power level. I've tuned mines before from about 22 foot-pound to 32 foot-pound, and they are accurate at their particular level. Of course, the point of impact changes, but you have to expect that and adjust for it. Integrated Picatinny rail. Removing the magazine is quite simple. All you gotta do is pull on your lever, grab your magazine, and there you go. To replace the magazine has always been a little tricky, but it's really not the end of the world. Place your magazine in, clicks into place, advance your lever, and you're done. I've never been much of a trigger snob, but the gun certainly has a very nice trigger. It is very light, repeatable, and predictable. It took me a minute to figure this one out, but that ribbed ring you see right there forward of the cocking lever is actually the safety, and it is ambidextrous, can be reached from both sides, and you simply turn it and you can see the little red line there indicating that it's safe and ready to fire. And here we could see the plate on the other side where you remove those 4 screws, and you are able then to switch out your cocking lever to the left side of the gun. All right, let's talk about things that could be a little better. What could be a little better in my book? The ping. The mechanical ping out of the hammer is rather loud, and it is very close to your face when you're shooting, so that is something that I would offer as a constructive criticism, is to find an anti-ping device or a way to keep it a little quieter here would be something that would be most welcome. Another thing is the lack of anti-double loading. If you are not careful, you can double load this gun. Now, this feature over here helps to prevent that. You can actually learn to use this to prevent double loading, but it is not strictly anti-double loading, and if you don't make a habit of using this feature here to help you not double load, you will load. So what you want to do is, if you index a pellet into the breech and you don't fire right away, I would go ahead and move this lever to the rear position. That prevents you from loading the next time. And lastly, I would say is that there is no divot back here to hold this little lever in place in the rear position, but it is a very easy mod, and if that's something that's gonna help you, you can easily do that with a little Dremel or similar tool, but they don't recommend it. Here's you a nifty little trick that you can do if you want to sort of single load your pellets into the Kalibrgun, sort of cheat. Go ahead and pull your lever back and make sure that this pin is in the rear position. Then you can go ahead and single load your pellets and rotate. You can do them on each side if you want, and until the whole magazine is filled, or you can just do one by one as you're shooting if you like. Another question I get asked a lot is shot count. What is the shot count on this gun? Well, I've filled the gun to 250 bar, and I'm gonna start shooting it, take a count, and see how many pellets before it drops off the reg, okay? After 60 shots, I went ahead and stopped. That's 4 whole magazines of 14 shots each, and that was using a power setting of 30, using the Crosman Premier hollow points. It actually can shoot the Crosman Premier hollow points pretty well. Not pellet on pellet accuracy as it does with the JSB 18s. It doesn't stack them, but it can do just about a half an inch, maybe a little more at 30 yards, which in my book is minute of squirrel all day long. There's gonna be a couple big takeaways from this gun that I'm gonna leave you with. How reliable, how accurate, and how rugged this platform is. It is put together like a tank. I've taken my other crickets out a week after taking the last shot, and when I pull the trigger, it is same point of impact as it was the last time that I took it out.